Welcome back from that break. Glad you're still watching Science Breakfast with me, Alan Habert, and sign language interpreter is Mary Louisa Ngede. This morning we are talking about financial therapy and financial wellness. And to have that conversation, we are with Pauline Muthoni. She is a co-founder at Posterity Wealth Advisors, and Beth Wambui, who is also a co-founder at Posterity Wealth Advisors, but also Beth doubles up as a co-founder at My Wage Pay. Ladies, before we went for the break here, we had agreed that when we come back from the break, we're going to talk about statistically one of the biggest breakers of homes. And given the recent growth in or rise in negative publicity about marriages, I think this is important for us to have a conversation at this particular time. But before we go into the most serious matters, this whole thing starts at a point of dating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And these disagreements, or you knowing the person that you're dating, munaonaga mambo ikia. Kuna wale wenye tunasemanga 50-50, kuna wale wenye wanasema girlfriend pia anaweza changia, na kuna wale wenye wanasema mimi kama mwanaume nitakufa dereva, nikufa makanga na abiria wote ndani. From that point of courtship, what are some of the things that we're supposed to look out for even before now we start thinking about escalating this whole thing to a marriage setting?
All right, you're right, Alan, that marriage preparation begins very early from the coupling stage, which is, the dating stage. Yeah. And, in this stage, because feelings are everywhere, we just think about love, how much you're in love with each other. But it is very important that we draw back to having serious conversations about money. What do you mean by this? Remember where we began the conversations, we talked about money personalities, because we are all, the two people are coming from different background. Nature, nurture, the spaces they've grown in, the education systems, the society they live, the culture, the church, and everything else have informed their money decisions. So by the time you're coming together, this is what you're carrying, and this is what your partner is also carrying. So during the dating stage, we need to have money dates, money conversation dates.
Tunaenda kuongelea pesa.
Pesa. See how much roho inafanya. To set a particular day where, or moments, depending, you can contextualize that depending on how you are doing your dating, but set time where you're sitting down and asking ourselves, what are your beliefs about money? What do you believe? What are your values about money? So you start from there. So are you the kind of person who wants to hold money? Are you the person who just spends? Pesa ikikuja tunatumia. Twende. So starting from there, understanding each other from what is your belief about money. Is money all good? Is it a tool? Is it a root of all evil? Once you unpack that, then you go to the next stage. What are your thoughts about the earning? How then do we get our money as, when you get into the family system? So you discuss that. You go now to what is your belief about planning for money? Do you believe in a budget? There are people who don't believe.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What are you budgeting and you don't even have that money?
Yeah, even when it is there, remember Alan, we are saying, even that 1,000 that is coming, it still needs to be planned for. But before you even go to the planning, you need to understand, do you even believe in a budget? And what role does a budget play in your financial journey? Then we go into debt. Are there any debts that you are holding? Hata kama ni ya mshwari, Fuliza, Hustler Fund. Is there anything that you have in form of debt? Besides that, if there's any asset that you hold, is it on debt? Because you could be coming into...
Asset hatutakuwa tumeenda sana.
Simna debt. See,
lakini
mna
hatuja-
project into getting into marriage.
We would say maybe courtship.
Yes.
Courtship.
And when you're getting there,
Yeah.
you are planning to get into a serious relationship. So,
So probably, probably, I like the idea of money debts. Yeah, even from a courtship perspective, that sounds amazing. But now, when we start talking about assets, probably we could structure that for what is it called? When you are already engaged, you have made some type of commitment,
Yes.
and now we say, because we are at this stage,
Yeah.
then we're going to have this type of conversation.
yes, when you've scaled it to that
Yeah.
level. But it is very important before you make the marriage commitment to have discussed about it. Because Alan, you could be having a piece of land
Yeah.
in Kamulu or in Ruda or
Yeah.
in whichever part of
Amen
this
to
nation.
Rhonda. Yes.
Amen.
But it is on debt.
Yeah.
Or you have a house but is on mortgage. So by the time you're making the marriage commitment,
Yeah.
you've already discussed that so that you know there's a certain amount of money that you'll be going to repay in that. You could be driving a car
Yeah.
that is also
On debt.
on debt. So by the
Maybe.
time now you are moving from your courting, you're just dating, you're courting, now you're getting into the next level. These conversations need to be deliberate.
Yeah.
Remember, you're going to create and form a family. Which schools do you want our children to go to? It is a money discussion.
Yeah.
So you need to discuss. Me, I believe I want our children to go to the international system. I'll be able to. Or they just want to go to the normal education system. How do we support our parents? Everything around that needs
to be
to
able
be
to discuss it.
critically discussed
Yeah.
and well outlined before you get into the marriage.
Beth, let me bring you in here.
Yes.
There is this saying, pesa yangu ni pesa yangu, pesa ya Bwana ni pesa yetu, sisi
Yeah.
sote.
Yes.
Now, we have a family that is in that situation.
Yes.
How now, because they skipped what Madam Pauline is talking about, how do we help that couple so that they do not break up because of finances?
Yeah, and so we are looking at a couple that did not have that money discussion before they got into marriage.
Yeah.
And now they are in marriage, and most of the times issues come in when money is less, not when money is a lot. So you find that maybe they did not discuss issues about budgeting and also even black tax. So you find that when maybe one person is not very comfortable that all the money that you're getting, you're helping your brothers, your sisters, your cousins, everybody in your family. And then now here they are our kids, and you are not able to pay for them the kind of schools that maybe I would have wished we do. And probably now I'm using all my money to take the kids to the school I want, the kind of school I would prefer. So you feel like maybe one person would be feeling like they are not, you are not contributing enough to this family that you've built. And that is why it is important now you can visit a therapist where you can now have that honest discussion around money. And you say, I have a very huge burden about my family, where I have a sick mother, or I have some kids I'm educating at home. But now I also have my kids that are already here,
Yeah.
and they need to go to school, they need to eat, they need all those things. And I also have my wife, she needs this kind of support. So you can come together and say, we can have 3 accounts where you will have your own personal account, I'll have my own personal account, but also towards the kids and the home, we'll also have a joint, not literally joint, but we'll say, maybe we can work around how do we
Access it.
yes, how do we help this family? And where you find that no, maybe one person is not willing to talk about it now, that's where you realize that there might be trauma or some issues around growing up, there was a problem. So first of all, before even you discuss about what to do with the money, you will first unpack that issue. And maybe the financial therapist is able to pick it from the first conversation and be like, you have an anxious attachment, you have a disorder. Others have debt, very huge debts. You have huge debts that you've taken, and you're taking all these loans, but you're not supporting the family. So the wife or the husband feels like you've taken so much debt and you're not supporting us, and maybe at some point you are going to crash and I will need to help you. Yet
Come back on your feet.
Yeah, so we need to have that serious discussions now that you're already in marriage. And I'm a very strong believer of family and finance. Having a family discussion around finance is very important. It is helpful because by the end of the day, this is your life partner. You want to live life together.
Yeah.
And therefore, when they are healthy, you're also safe.
Mm.
So I believe some of the strategies can be something as simple as even creating a budget, so that you say that this is the income I'm getting, and this is the amount of money that I've budgeted, I can support the family. So the rest I can keep. And I always recommend this method, we call the pay yourself first method of budgeting, where before even you sort any other people, before you sort your grandfather, grandparents, your siblings and everybody else, set some money aside where you say, I pay myself first. Take care of your old age, take care of your family and all that. So you put some money aside towards investment. And then now the rest, you can use the 50-30 budgeting rule. 50% goes to needs, 30% maybe to saving and investment, and maybe 20% will go to something else like luxury or something like that. So depending on what you are. And some people even have a lot of money. It's only that they have never structured a way of
knowing how to spend it.
Yeah.
In winding up, Madam Pauline, what are the basic things that I can start doing in changing? Let us structure it this way. What are some of the basic things that I can start doing? One, understanding the kind of relationship that I have with money. Two, identifying my values towards money. And three, unshackling myself from the unhealthy financial lifestyle that I might be living.
All right. Some of the ways that you can be is basically sit with yourself.
Ujiite
kama mkutano and ask, how are my spending habits? How are your money habits? How do you spend?
Yeah.
How do you even invest in the first place? And when you invest, what informs your decisions for investing?
Yeah.
Because remember, that's where now a bit of the core values come in. So the starting point from today, to anybody who is listening to us, sit with yourself and start introspecting and asking yourself those questions. How are my money behaviors? Am I utilizing or spending my money because I need to fulfill a need that is aligned to my financial goals and to my financial needs? Or is it to satisfy a need of somebody else or the society or whatever else? So going back, and you can simply even use your M-Pesa statement. Generate your M-Pesa statement. And just analyze it and try and track it and see how you've been spending that money. It helps you create a mental and a financial perspective to what are you spending and earning behaviors. So number one is to begin there by doing a basic analysis of yourself. You can either do the M-Pesa, you can do your bank, or whichever other means that can help you track and give you an idea. You'll be surprised that when you take just basic M-Pesa and you analyze and see how much goes to lifestyle, how much goes into entertainment, how much goes, and then it will help you ask those deep questions. Did I really need to buy
this particular thing?
Did I really need to do this? And that helps you now reframe your mindset, because it heightens your awareness on your money habits. And then you start asking, okay, so if I have not been spending and all my money is stashed somewhere, why is it that I am not creating value with my money? What are some of the basic ways I can start? Maybe if it is saving, you can, if you're doing it, the saving in a place where you're not earning any return, start with a basic money market fund. Right now in the market, I think they are going between 10% to around 12%. Begin from there. When it sits there, it is helping you grow. Get into the discipline, because again, money is about discipline, how you discipline yourself. Get into that habit of intentionally telling yourself, even though it is 10 shillings, there's a family I sat down with in one of the financial therapy sessions. And it was a very low income, but they had the intentionality of changing how they are doing their money. And they said the lady sells in a kibada somewhere, and the husband is in the boda. And they said each of us will be sparing just 30 shillings per day. So
that makes a total of 60 bob.
60 bob times 365 days, because their child goes in a school that is within where they live, and their school fees is about 2,000. So they said by next year, we don't want to go take a loan to
take the child to school.
Take the child to school. That's reframing their mind. And for me, when we sit with our clients and we see those small steps by reframing just their minds and doing their unhealthy money habits, it gives me all the joy and the satisfaction that there is. So what am I saying to our listeners? Go and sit with yourself and start analyzing your money habits.
Beth, you're going to close it for us, yeah?
Yeah.
What do you have to tell us, and how can people get in touch with Posterity Wealth Management?
Yeah, so my summary is, if you've not started, you are not alone. If you've never thought about money in that perspective, you're not alone. And even if you have nothing you've saved, you're still not alone, and you can start. So reach out to us. We have a page on TikTok, on LinkedIn, Facebook, all social medias. You can reach to us. You can also reach out to me. My number is 0745 14 13 92. Or you can reach out to Pauline. Her number is
0722 677853.
Yeah, you can also write to me an email, wamboybeth81@gmail.com, or
Pauline Modhoni@gmail.com.
Yeah, thank you.
Amazing. Now, I know we haven't been able to discuss everything, but I think this is time well spent, and it has been an amazing conversation. And Beth, thank you very much for making sure that this conversation happens. And we'll see how we can collaboratively continue having this conversation to educate the masses. Now, dear viewer, I hope you've learned. No, this time around, it's not a thing or two. I hope you've been able to learn a lot from this conversation. And we hope to see you tomorrow as we entertain, inform, and educate you at the same time. Been your host, Alan Hubbard. It has been Pauline and Beth from Posterity Wealth Advisors, and our sign language interpreter.